Everything you've heard about the 2026 World Cup's three-nation host model is a diplomatic illusion. It is a structural necessity because the tournament has mutated into a parasite too massive for a single democracy to survive. Qatar hosted 64 matches and generated $7.5 billion in revenue. In 2026, the calendar swells to 104 matches, chasing a projected $9 billion. Historically, a nation built a dozen bespoke arenas for a one-month event, then spent decades bleeding municipal funds to maintain rotting concrete husks known as white elephants. A single country attempting to absorb 104 matches today would guarantee its own fiscal collapse. To extract that $9 billion without footing the construction bill, the organizing body requires a pre-existing structural grid. It operates exactly like an electrical grid, absorbing a sudden voltage spike. You don't build new power plants for a temporary surge. You reroute the massive load across an interconnected continental network. By syndicating the logistical burden across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, the governing body socializes the friction of moving millions of people while completely privatizing the profit. But porting this model into North America fundamentally changes the vector of extraction. Historically, host governments absorbed the financial losses in exchange for international prestige, but here, the infrastructure is privately owned by domestic sports billionaires. Look at Stan Kroenke, threatening to pull Los Angeles' SoFi Stadium from the roster. He recognized the mechanism immediately. The foreign entity demands total control over ticket and hospitality revenue while handing the stadium owner a flat rental fee and all the operational risk. The implication is a brutal collision of incentive structures. A sovereign nation desperate for public relations can be bullied into a mathematically terrible deal, but an American NFL oligarch cannot. When you outsource your core infrastructure to apex predators in their own territory, they do not accept being treated as subservient vendors. They demand a proportional cut of the actual yield. The global mega event hasn't just expanded across borders. It has finally priced itself out of sovereign compliance. See you next time.